Hello, welcome back. This is my May reading wrap up, and clearly I have a little guest with me here today. This is Miss Luna. She's my dog, and I have another dog, Lacey, that also might join at other times in this video. I am back home for the summer in Ohio, so I'm also in a new location, obviously. So testing out new possible filming locations. I doubt this one's gonna stick because it's downstairs and I think the dogs are going to go crazy, and this is a rare quiet morning where all my family's not downstairs. So whatever, but tell me if you like it, I guess. Cool. So to start off, in May I read 14 books and one novella, so pretty good. I feel like we're kind of getting back on track, so we'll never reach what I read in January, I feel like, but still doing pretty good. So the first three books of May were The Sophomore, the Junior, and the Senior, all by Monica Murphy, which are the part of the College Years series, which I already did a video on, so I'm not really going to talk about them too much, but if you want to go look at that video, you can, and I'll have the link in the description. So fun. Oh, that was a big yawn. Okay, after that, I have Bellinger Sisters, series, so It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker, both by Tessa Bailey. I read those back to back. So basically, It Happened One Summer is Tessa Bailey said it's like Schitt's Creek inspired, which I don't know. I don't think it was totally the vibe I was looking for. It more Schitt's Creek references, or not references, but vibes. I don't know. Anyway, so basically the story is that Piper and her sister Hannah are these rich socialites kind of that live in LA. Their stepdad is super rich, and they've kind of just lived a super privileged lifestyle basically their whole lives. But their birth father was from this small town in Washington, I'm pretty sure, and he was a fisherman there and all this stuff, and that's where him and his wife with their mom met and lived and stuff, and then he died tragically, and their mom moved because she was so heartbroken about it all. But basically Piper throws this big party and gets thrown in jail and all this stuff, so as a lesson her father sends her to the town so that she can learn the meaning of hard work and I don't know, working for yourself and all of those good things. And he only sends Piper, but Hannah goes too because she doesn't want to be without her sister. So that kind of sets up the two books basically. Okay, so It Happened One Summer. I was looking forward to it, but I had read 3 Tessa Bailey's books before this. I had read the Hot and Hammer series. They are Fix Her Up, Love Her, Lose Her, and Tools of Engagement. I read those 3, and I liked the book series. I talked about it in some of my other book reviews, I don't know. But I liked the book series, but it wasn't my favorite. I just feel it was just mid at best, which is fine. Still a good read. But I had been hearing everyone raving about It Happened One Summer, and I finally decided to just bite the bullet and read it, and I'm so glad I did. It is way worth the hype. I think it's totally fun and good. I don't know. I really liked it. I know it's kind of cheesy at places and stuff, but Piper and Brendan, I love a Grumpy Sunshine book. I feel I've said that so many times, and it's true, and I still do, and they continue to be some of my favorite books, and this was one of them. As I said, the next book I read was Hook, Line, and Sinker, which is the next book in the Bellinger Sisters series, and it's about Piper's younger sister Hannah, who also went to the town with her to be a good sister, which was very nice. And while she was there, because Brendan runs he's a fisherman, and he's the captain of a boat or something. I'm losing all the terms, I don't remember, but he's the captain, and then his best friend and he works with him and whatever is named Fox, and Fox is kind of the ladies' man of the town. Definitely goes out of his way to find one night stands and stuff, and he goes to the city and stuff so he can find more people. And he Like there's a couple of times in the first book where they have to like where like Brendan wants to be alone with Piper, so then like Fox is like, Hannah, let's go like do this or whatever. Um, but yeah, but basically in Hook, Line, and Sinker, Hannah is back in LA and her dream job is to be girl, what? Her dream job is to be like the person who does the soundtracks for movies, which is a fairly cool job. Oh my gosh. Okay. Um, girl. But anyways, music is like her life, so it's really important to her, and she kind of has, she's been a PA on movie sets for a while now, like working her way up from the bottom, um, to try to get to be I don't remember what it's called, like music supervisor or something. Here, do you want down? Is that better? Okay, we lost our partner, but um, whatever. So she's been working as a PA on movie sets to try to work her way up. Oh, and she's back. Okay, great. Cool. And then, and basically she gets this opportunity to have like impress the director of the film because he wants a new location, and she offers up the town that Piper and Brendan and Fox all live in now. Um, and I'm saying the town because I don't remember the town's name, and that's on me. But so they get to go there, and basically Fox and Hannah have had this like relationship, like this like friendship for a while now, which is really weird for Fox. He's never really been friends with a girl before, and there's definitely like feelings on both ends, but it's like they don't really want to cross over into that because Hannah's not staying. She's just staying for like the filming process, and then she's going back to LA, and like Fox's job is in this town, so like he can't leave either, so they're kind of just like stuck between a rock and a hard place, but she's staying at Fox's while they're there because Piper and Brendan's guest room is like taken or whatever. So great. So it's like forced proximity, and then it's kind of like friends to lovers, and like it's not forbidden, but it's like Brendan and Piper don't want it to happen. Like, you know what I mean? So it's not like forbidden, but it's like, I don't know, whatever. Um, I liked it. I definitely had higher hopes just because I know that that also got like a lot of hype, and like I would argue maybe more hype than like it happened one summer, but I don't think it was as good as it happened one summer. I think it was still a fun book, still a good book, but I don't think it's nearly as good. I apologize. I feel like, okay, is the camera already moving? I feel like this video is going to be wildly bad because Luna is taking up all my attention, and I feel like my descriptions have already been really bad. Whatever, sorry about it. Okay, next book I read was a reread. I randomly read The Dare by Elle Kennedy, which is the last in the Briar U series. I love this book. I've always loved this book. This was like, this is my favorite in the Briar U series. I've always said that, and it's probably tied with the Deal. Oh my gosh, I was like, what is that? The Deal by Elle Kennedy, which is the first in the off-campus series. I think they're tied in my mind of like the universe of Briar University. Whatever. Oh my gosh. Okay. And I'm just gonna pretend she's not there. Basically, this book is Taylor and Connor, and basically Taylor has like, she's in a sorority and like people don't like her, and they dare her to go up to Connor, who's like one of the most popular guys and like a hockey guy, so like a god in their eyes, to dare him to like to ask him if he wants to go hook up or something like that. And she goes over to him and is like, hey, will you please play along? And then like does it, whatever. He's a good sport and like helps her out. And then they kind of start this, it kind of takes them on this journey of like starting this like fake relationship, which is kind of interesting because it's like a fake relationship, but it quickly turns into like, it's very blurred lines. It's like, there's not really a reason for Connor to like want to have a fake relationship. Like, oh my God, don't go on the camera. Stay there. Sit. She, because Connor is just kind of doing it because he heard people make fun of Taylor and he was like, I can't stand for this. So he like offers up the idea to Taylor and Taylor takes it up because she's like, yeah, I think that would work, that they would like stop bugging me about this thing and it would be nice. But Connor doesn't really have a reason for it, but it doesn't really matter. Anyways, they kind of have this fake relationship that kind of quickly it turns into like a real relationship behind the scenes. And it's very fun. I really like this book. This was my first time rereading it, and I think I still like it as much as I did the first time. I think I just weirdly relate to Taylor in a lot of ways, and I think that always makes a book higher rating when like you just have a character that you're just like, oh, yep, yep, that's a lot of the things I do and think. So that's great. Do you want to go down? So yeah, also I love Connor. I think Connor is very underrated. He is like so sweet and fun and funny. And yeah, I do agree. I mean, I've said this before, but I do agree that like I think it was kind of a lame ending to the like off-campus Fire You world. There is like no ending to it. It's just like, and that's the end of the book. And it's like, well, we are also ending like a really good series, but whatever. Still love it. Still great reread. Okay, the next one I read was the novella, which is Under One Roof by this, which is in the Stemsonist novellas by Ali Hazelwood, who Ali Hazelwood wrote The Love Hypothesis, which was really big. So basically she's doing these like, I think it's 3 novellas that are, yeah, like her next project or whatever, which I was really excited for because I loved The Love Hypothesis and was willing to read whatever next by her. So basically, the plot of this one is that Mara is this like environmental scientist. Yeah, I think that's right. But she like had this mentor who like was guiding her all through her like career, and she unfortunately died. And Mara was in her will, which Mara was shocked about, whatever. But she left Mara her house, which was great. Mara like was like, this is fantastic. I get to live here now. She decides to like go live there, but actually it turns out that the mentor only owned half the house and the other half was to like the other members of her family. I don't know. And basically her nephew Liam lived there. Um, cool. So, so, um, Mara moves in anyway, and at first is like, oh, well, this can still be fun. Like, I don't have to pay rent, and I get to just like kind of live here for a little bit. Great. And she's like, Liam's probably a great guy, whatever. Oh, no. Oof. Um, and at first it was like pretty good, but then Liam quickly, okay, great, switches sides on her and is like, it kind of starts to be kind of mean to her and stuff. And Mara's like, this isn't gonna work. So they just like continue being roommates, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Eventually they start being nicer to each other and become friends. And then they turn into more. I think it was fine. It was a novella. I don't know why she didn't make it into a full-length novel, because honestly, I think the potential was there. I mean, like I saw the clear like characterization of Mara and Liam, and she has like the other 2 novellas that will be in the set. Like she like talked about them in this novella and stuff like that. I just like don't, I guess maybe just it was easier for her or something, because like obviously it's really hard to write a book, so maybe she didn't want to expand beyond, but I think there was room for expansion. Like I still think this would have been a really great full-length novel, and I kind of wish it was, but I don't know, I think it was good. Okay, the next 4 books I read are a series, the VIP series by Kristen Callihan, which I think have a video on, so I'll also link that in the description. But it follows like this band, Kill John, girl, it's fine. It follows this band, Kill John, and it goes through the members. I think there's supposed to be one more book in the series because there are 4 members of the band plus their manager, and there's still one member of the band who has not had a book yet. So I feel like Whip is going to get a book. So I'm excited for that. But I'm not going to say too much about them, like I said, because you can watch that video if you want to see it. But basically, it is Idle, Managed, Fall, and Exposed. I really liked the book series. I thought it was really good. I think it's underrated. I don't really feel like I hear anyone talking about it that much. I should say, and then I heard everyone talking about it. I feel like we all read it at the same time, which is fun. And I've read now 3 series by Kristen Callihan, and I just love them all. So, big fan of hers. Oh, my next book. I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I was shocked that I got this so early in the library. Literally, the first day it came out, I got it on the library, which I was shocked. I guess I recommended it to my library or whatever, and got put like on the list as like number 1 or something. I don't know how it happened, but I was so excited. But then I got the book and kept pushing it off because I was like nervous for some reason, because I love Emily Henry, but I loved Beach Read, like with a burning passion. I love that book. But I didn't really like People We Meet on Vacation. I know, controversial, but I didn't really like it. So I was kind of nervous about Book Lovers because I was like, I am really highly anticipating this, but I don't want to get my hopes up because there's a 50-50 chance that I like it based off my past reading. But hit it out of the park. Hit it out of the park. Honestly, I think I'm gonna have to give them both a reread, but I do think I like it more than Book Lovers. I do. I think I'm gonna say that. I think my favorite Emily Henry book is Book Lovers. It's just so, I don't know. It's still sticking with me, and I guess I read it like 2 weeks ago or something, but it's still just like, it's so nice. And I'm like, don't have the words to describe how beautiful and nice and fun this book is. I remember when I started reading it, I read like the first chapter and I was like, I'm already hooked. I just love the idea of it. But it follows Nora, and she is like this, she is a literary agent, and she like is really good at her job. And I love, like, she's characterized as like the other girl in the like rom-coms, that like, the girl in the rom-com who is like, finds the guy who, oh, my other dog's coming over, finds the guy who, like, she's the sweet one that, like, is from a small town and, like, from, like, whatever, and she doesn't think working's the most important thing, and, like, all this stuff, and, like, puts family first, and blah, 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 whatever. And then the other woman that he's already dating is, like, someone who's, like, super business-minded, and, everything. Oh my god, here's Lacey. Woo! Yay. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, but basically Nora loves her job. She's a workaholic. She works all the time, but she still loves her family, like her sister and her mom. Okay, sorry, they might be fighting in the background like that, but hopefully, yeah, okay, they left to go do it in another room. But her sister Libby, kind of like requests that she goes to this small town. Oh my god, it's called like Sunshine Falls, I'm pretty sure, North Carolina. But she like begs her to go with her to the small town to like have like a vacation for a month, whatever, to get away from, like, she has like a husband and 2 kids and she's pregnant. Not to like get away, but to like have a break or whatever, you know what I mean? So she does. She goes with her sister, and while she's there, she meets Charlie, or not meets, she re-meets Charlie, who is also, well, he's not a literary agent, he's an editor, and he is like also cutthroat in the business, and like they had met once before, and he didn't like one of the books that she was representing and like passed on it, whatever, but they've kind of had a weird relationship since then, so she kind of is shocked that he's there, and then she goes on this whole journey of trying to figure out what is going on with her sister, while also Charlie and how she feels about him and things like that. But it's amazing, so good. I think the sister relationship, I'm always a sucker for that because I love my sister desperately, so I think whenever it's like portrayed really well and real, I love it. So I love that, and I loved Nora and Charlie. They're like the best. And now my dogs are barking, so that's fun. Then Luna, it's okay. They live there. It's okay, Lacey. Okay, the next book I read Guys, it's okay. It's okay. I said it's okay. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Okay, the next book I read, let me get this done. Okay, oh my god. Is The Plan by Karla Sorensen. Um, literally had to look up what even happened in this book. I literally didn't really remember it. I don't know why I read this book. It was really random. Anyways, basically, the story. Also, apparently, this is like part of a bigger series of her books that like the parents of the main girl have their own book series and like their whole relationship, which I didn't know and I didn't read it. And I think I would have appreciated it more if I did read that, but I just had no idea because it's not like in a series. It's just like they're all like I think considered like standalones or whatever. So whatever. If you're wanting to read this book, maybe look up the order you should read them in. Great. Now I have to go give my dogs food. Okay, so basically the story is Lydia, the main girl, is like an influencer type beat, and she kind of had some like stalkers kind of. And she got into a car crash because of one of these interactions, and she has obvious trauma from that, and has been struggling to kind of work through that. And she's kind of been stuck at home and like not really feeling comfortable going outside of her home yet. So her parents are really worried about her and decide to hire her a bodyguard. And their whole family is like connected to like the professional football because like her dad used to be like a professional quarterback, and then her mom owns one of the teams and like runs it and all of that. So like they're very in it, whatever. So they decide to call this past player that they had, Eric, who quit kind of for unknown reasons, and decide to, because he's like working in security now or whatever, so they decide to ask him if he was going to do it. And he's hesitant at first, but then he finally agrees. And then he meets Lydia, and Lydia's kind of like, I don't need a like babysitter, so she says no. But eventually she comes, it's okay. Eventually she comes around, and she starts going outside of the house with Eric as her bodyguard, and the two, it's okay, that's mom. My mom's gardening in the front, so they're gonna be whining. Anyways, after a while, they start kind of like having a friendship and all this stuff. Great, yeah, and then it turns into more. It's fine. I think the book was, again, I would say probably read the other books because if you love the series, I think it makes sense. As a standalone book, I was kind of bored during a lot of it. I remember just being like, okay, cool, and then also just being like, I kind of want this to be over. So not the biggest recommendation for me, but also not the worst. It's not the worst book. I think it's an average at best book. Okay, the next two books I read in the last two books of May were The Confidence of Wildflowers and The Resurrection of Wildflowers, which are together, it's the Wildflower Duets series, and then they're by Micalea Smeltzer. Okay, I have some things to talk about with this book. So basically, the plot in the first book is that Salem is our main girl, and she just graduated from high school, kind of doesn't really know what she wants to do with her life, kind of just chilling in her like small town in Massachusetts, and then she gets a new neighbor next door, Thayer, and he is, how to describe Thayer? That's such a good question. Um, he's like grumpy. I guess this is a definite grumpy sunshine book. Yeah, so basically they start as friends. I don't know. She like kind of starts nannying for his kid, Forrest, and that's a whole thing, whatever. Their age is a major age gap of 12 years, and I'm not really, I mean, sometimes, okay. I've been a fan in the past of age gap romances. I don't think because of the age gap is never the reason. It's definitely just like a like, is it just an after effect that they also happen to be an age gap? But I'm never really a fan when it's like she's just turned 18 or something. Like, that's so gross and weird. But that's how this book is. Like, she is 18. I guess she's almost 19, but he's like 32, which is just weird and not fun. I guess he's not 32. No, he would be 30. Yeah, whatever. It's just weird, and it was not my favorite thing in the world. But basically, they form this like friendship, and she has a boyfriend, Caleb, who they've been like high school sweethearts for a while. She has trauma that I feel like I'm not gonna talk too much about, just because both for spoilers and for like content warnings. I would look up content warnings before you read this book series, because this could be very, very triggering to some people. But yeah, so basically, I don't know. I don't want to say too much to give it away, which means I can't really talk about the resurrection of Wildflowers at all. Basically, that's just like Flash Force is 6 years in the future, and it's like them re-falling in love. Which, come on, you kind of knew that they weren't going to be together at the end of the first book, because why would there be a second book then? You know what I mean? So, whatever. But my thoughts on this book are just crazed. I remember reading it, and my friend was visiting me from school, shout out to Rose, and I was telling her like all of the bits and pieces, being like, no, but then this just happened and this happened, and like she was like, that's crazy, and I was like, I agree, that's so crazy. So basically, this is an awful description, but I'm trying to be spoiler free, so if anyone has read it, please hit me up, because I would love to talk your ear off about these books, because they're literally insane. And you know what? I didn't love them. I liked The Confidence of Wildflowers much, much, much more than I liked The Resurrection of Wildflowers. But I will give it to Micalea that I was shocked a couple of times. So take that as you will. But overall, I think I had a pretty good reading month in May. I think I had a lot of books that I really liked, which I feel like I've been not in like a slump, but I've been in like a reading some kind of bad books lately, like in the past months. I feel like still some good books in there, but like majority like not books I super loved, but I feel like this month had some real stars, like Book Lovers, the whole VIP series I really liked. So I think that's really good and fun. Glad you guys got to meet my dogs. Sorry if they were annoying in the video. And yeah, thank you for coming along to the May reading wrap up, and I can't wait for June. I think it's going to be a really good one. So, not me already being like 5 days into June, being like, I think it's going to be a good one. Like, I don't know. But yeah, have a happy, oh, Luna wants to say bye too. Have a happy summer, happy June, and thank you for watching my video, all you beautiful, lovely people.